I kind of feel like telling somebody that we're at mile 21 in your first marathon, and the next 5 miles are not going to be not be good. So I wish I could tell you that there was some good messaging here. I don't see anything that the administration is doing that's going to relieve this, not in the short term, and I don't even think in the long term. So this is going to be a brutal summer. We saw this coming, but you know, I don't want to get too political here this morning, but this is what we should have expected with this administration when they were running for office, and they said that they were going to go after the oil and gas industry, which that's what they've done, whether it was shutting down the XL pipeline, stopping these leases from offshore and on federal lands. And diesel prices are, you know, that 450 plus is pretty tough to swallow at the gas pump. But if you're a trucker, I think they're over 550 a gallon for diesel. And the diesel side of this is really the interesting story from my perspective. That's heavy crude that you have to bring into the United States, and it comes from the Gulf, from Alaska, which are the two places that got impacted by the Biden administration. And now they're down asking Venezuela, a country that's run by a brutal dictator in Maduro, to help bring this heavy crude in. So they lost the Russian market because of what's going on in Ukraine. Anyway, it's just an absolute mess. And the American people are going to pay a massive price for it, not only in just the cost of gasoline, but inflation. I listened to your section earlier, and again, there's just not many good stories out there relative to the consuming public. They're going to pay a massive price here over the course of the next months to come.
There's elections. They always they come. Seems like too quickly sometimes. Maybe not. Maybe not quick enough. We got one in November. We got another one in 2024. What would I don't know whether the Secretary of Energy at this point is going to do. I don't know what the plans are there. But if you were Secretary of Energy again, how do we prevent getting closer to what Europe and Germany is facing right now? What is it, an all of the above energy strategy? What concrete moves should, whether it's the current Secretary of Energy or the next one or the next administration or this administration, what should be done? Because we use so much energy. I mean, whether you're powering the grid or when you have a strong economy, a strong global economy, it's just, you can just measure it. You can just see it on the dot charts, how much energy needs to be used. So we need it, whether it's hydrocarbons or nuclear or you know, what do you do? How do you induce us to not be afraid to produce?
Well, and I think we have to stand up and tell the truth. And the truth is that fossil fuels are going to be the way that you energize, so to speak, that you power the world. It's not, and this isn't just a United States issue. When you look at what's going on, there's 1/10 of the world that does not even have one electron of electricity. I mean, it's just the idea that people stand up and say we're going to be at net zero by 2050 is just either the grandest lie that's ever been told, or these people really don't care about people. When you look, and I'm talking about global here, I'm not talking about the United States. I mean, yes, we're hurting, but there are people dying, literally dying in Africa and India because they're having to cook with wood or with cow dung. And the fact of the matter is the particulate matter that comes from that and the deaths that are caused because of that, the lack of fossil fuels around the globe, that's a stunning admission from my perspective that those, I'm going to call them on the left, who would say we got to get rid of all fossil fuels by 2050. And these are the same people that are against nuclear power, which is zero emissions, and big hydro projects, which is zero emissions. So you either have to admit that you've got some other agenda. You can't just stand up and say fossil fuels are bad because of the emissions and they're killing the climate. or admit that you've got another agenda here, and I don't know what that is, but the fact of the matter is, stand up and say, we've got to have all of the above. Wind and solar are fine, but right now they're only 3% of the power in the world. So the idea that we're going to make any quick changes and a transition is going to come, but you can't get there. You absolutely cannot get there unless you have nuclear, and particularly nuclear. I think small modular reactors are the real answer to both the proliferation of power around the globe and addressing the emissions. And at the same time, we can do things like carbon capture and sequestration to deal with the emissions. But this idea that we hate fossil fuels, which is the Biden administration story, is tragic.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.